Dragoncast.
So this came out earlier. I noticed it earlier this morning, so I added it in here. The most comical of the recent conspiracy theories I've heard here every day is that Embracer was brought by BlackRock, and they forced me to put DEI in KCD2. Here's the official ownership structure of Embracer. Do you see BlackRock anywhere? And wait, wait till you found out who Savvy is. And he's making a joke about Savvy. Just to be clear, I've had some people say this to me. OP isn't talking about me. He's talking about the Saudi game group that invests in the game companies. So, anyways, the most comical of the recent controversy theories I hear every day, like you said, right? You can see Vanguard's number 9, right? With 2.5% shares and stuff like that, and 1% of vote. Lars Wingford AB has the majority of the vote according to his top 10 here. And I think people are missing the point of the argument. Because we all know what BlackRock and Embracer, and we've covered this so many times. Like, we know they promote ESG scores. But his argument is they don't have that high of an influence, or Vanguard doesn't have that high of an influence. And his argument is these are the top 10. We're like, oh, he's not showing BlackRock. I say, yeah, he's showing the top 10. Right? I even had this argument with Hypnotic. I said, we got to be careful here, because if it comes out it's not woke, then you got to apologize. I expect people to apologize for it. Right? I expect people to apologize for it. And they're not, because they're going to be too proud in their ego. Right? That's the price of political grandstanding, of political activism. Right? Because now we're trained that when we think something's woke, when we see someone say this is woke, what happens? We are quick to judge. But here's the part of the argument people are failing to see. So I'm gonna come back to this, but I'm gonna show a friend of mine I follow, Old Man Grimm. No, they said BlackRock and Vanguard. Oh, look, who is that number 9 position? Vanguard. And yes, you're missing the argument. All right, like you're missing the argument. I don't have it in here. Do I? Nope. Okay, so. Give me a. I'm just going to tell you the argument. I beat this over there. I'm not apologizing. I am not defending. I'm not on anyone's side here. I'm looking at the text that Daniel Vavra has said. Okay, the most comical of these conspiracy theories I hear every day is that Embracer Group was bought by BlackRock, and they forced me to put ECD2. So his argument here is Embracer was bought by BlackRock. They forced me to put DEI here. All right. Now, I know where people saying that Vanguard is owned by BlackRock, and yes, we all know that, right? We all know that. But his argument here is that they forced him to put DEI in KCD2, right? That's what the whole premise is, that people are forgetting, is that he's not denying that there's ownership in there, right? Right? You can say, well, here's official ownership, but do you see BlackRock anywhere? Okay, yes. All right. And people can say, well, BlackRock owns Vanguard. Yes, we know this. Now we're going into red herring curve. We're going off the track, right? And as you can see, I say I'll try to squeeze in my podcast tonight. If people say, yeah, does Vanguard say with BlackRock? Yeah. And they have 1% of votes. So he acknowledges it. So right here and here, he acknowledges that he knows Vanguard and BlackRock are the same. Hi, Sergeant Garatina. So he goes, this guy goes, it's useless to explain to some retards that you're not under pressure. That's the argument he's having. He's like, I'm not under any pressure. No one has forced me to do what decisions I've made. It's good to tell normal people who might have heard this bullshit somewhere. And remember, someone said bullshit that there's de novo in KCD2, which they came out and said there is none. If you go look at Steam, they don't have the warning in there that there's de novo. So obviously, that was a lie. Right? But he goes, I will also let some clickbait clown to smear me without consequences. So I'm telling people, you need to, if you are saying this game is woke without concrete evidence. That's my thing. And some people say, well, he said that he had one sense he's saying this. Okay, look. Let's define what do we say what makes a game woke? When something that's in the story that does not deserve to be there. Something that's in the game, in the story of the game, that does not deserve to be there, does not fit the game, right? We stated that, right? We also stated that it needs to have certain that you can't, like when you play the game, you can't go around it. So not only is it in the game that it shouldn't be there, but you can't work around it. You can't ignore it. You have to go through this. You have to experience, like that's this two lesbian scene, right? That was a big issue, right? You couldn't skip that, or you were preached down to in the game, right? You were preached down to in the story. It's repetitive, beaten drivel. And what happened to those games, right? People came in defense of Daniel Vavra because he was attacked for many years, and people say, "Oh, now he's betraying us." All right, I'm not saying he has, and I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm saying he is saying that he hasn't been forced to do anything, and everything in that game is his vision. So he's saying he's taking full responsibility, and his defense is that BlackRock Vanguard only has about 2.54%. Like he obviously said 1.8% of the votes. Okay, here, just right here, 1.87. So here you go, right? But he's saying people are smearing him without consequences. He's not going to let that happen. So he's saying everyone is lying and smearing his name. And I'm telling people, you better come clean. Like he already said that he's not being forced. His argument is that he's not forced. Everything in the game is his. That is his vision. There is 3 acts to this game. All right? 3 acts to this game. And no one forced him, right, to put what he puts in there. So that means that he's taking full responsibility. That's what that means. No one forced him. This is what he wanted in the game. This is what his plan was all along. All that stuff. And people say, "Oh, this game's going to fail. This and that." We've seen it grows up. Here's the thing. You don't have to play the game. You don't have to do anything. A man is only as good as his word, and his word is defined by his actions. In the past, Daniel has set out against wokeness. He's made a great game. We just got done with Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. So, personally, I believe he has earned this rare opportunity from me to say, okay, I will give you the benefit of a doubt. I believe that everyone should give him a benefit of doubt. But when people say, "Oh, it's woke," I'm going to say, yeah, here's why. It's like he said this, and clearly I couldn't skip Henry's gay scene. I had to see Brokeback Mountain 1400s Bohemia live on screen, and I had to censor. I had to shut down the screen so we could skip past that, so I would get my stream demonetized. I couldn't skip it. This black guy made no sense why he was there. There was no the whole backstory of what didn't make sense to me. I don't know why they put him in there. There was not even an argument for historical context in this sense. Henry, I wanted to romance this girl, but no, I had to romance Hans Capon, Lord Capon, and I was the bottom for this guy, and this guy's like, I didn't want that. I was forced into that. That's why it's woke, because it made no sense. It contradicted its past lore, it contradicted its storyline. Then yeah, I would say it's woke. Have I said that? No, because I had not seen the story, I had not seen the script, I had not seen the gameplay, I had not even played the game. Now, if it comes out it wasn't woke, I expect the same thing for everyone else. We are not Kotaku Yurless. We should not double down and try to find excuses to believe ourselves. I actually went into an argument on Demian's video, which you can find out earlier when I went on and I said, just because someone is using clout, and that's what I saw, because there was no evidence on his guy who claimed he was an investor, and it came out it was an internet troll. And when I looked on his friends list, there were people that were for and against DIE. All right, so it wasn't done in due diligence. So the argument is, he's saying he wasn't forced. So the only way we're going to find out is by playing the game or watching people play the game. And if it comes out that he lied, Well, he lost all credibility. He lost all credibility because that's the concrete evidence in the game. Will he get our money? Will he get a lot of money? Yes, because the stocks are rising. But people will definitely, if they find out it's woke within 2 hours after buying it, they're going to return it. They're going to request refunds, and Act 3 will not get a lot of sales because he betrayed his audience. He betrayed his base. So this is what we have to be careful of, because you got game developers shutting down. You got new journalists shutting down, and they're realizing that their narrative doesn't sell. So they're going to start accusing things that they know we're not going to like, because it's obviously there's more of us to make the games we want to succeed fail. So they have a new narrative. They want, and us YouTubers being the new media, just because we're new media does not mean we can dictate things. We have to remember that we have to judge games on their actions. And we can sit here and argue, but I think someone is, in Phil Artillery had this expression, someone is shooting high angle and someone is shooting low angle when it comes to an argument, right? So someone reads this and they're thinking, okay, we're saying that he's owned by BlackRock, and he's just acknowledging Vanguard is part of BlackRock. And he's shooting low angle saying, no one forced me to put DEI in my game. I acknowledge it's in the game. I was transparent with you. So there's two arguments being met. It's either people don't want to admit to the fact that there's a possibility he is woke and he is transparent about his stuff, or something else. I don't know. So to people that are worried about this and don't want to waste money, here's what I recommend. You don't have to watch me eat, all right? I'm going to be streaming the game when it comes out. Hypnotic says he's going to be streaming it. Edemion says he's going to be streaming it, or playing it and reviewing it. So wait for those things to come out, all right? Or if you know a friend that's playing it, ask them about it. You don't have to get it opening night. You don't have to pre-order the game, right? Let the market decide. And if it shows he's woke, like I said, he will destroy himself. But it also it can backfire if it proves it's not woke. In my opinion, it could destroy the reputations and brands of people who form. And I hope they don't pull a Melanie Mac and double down like JDA, John Trent, and Melanie Mac and all of them. That's going to cause another controversy. We don't need that.
Worlds clash in endless collision. Gaming news with a fierce precision. With a spark so wild it breaks the norm. In the tempest, I